Welcome back. It's your boy Danye BC2, and Jonathan Majors is the subject today. Now, Jonathan Majors has been in the headlines heavy as of late, and I want to show y'all exactly what he's being charged with and what the story is. So, here it tells you Jonathan Majors is an actor who was arrested in New York in March for alleged domestic violence incident. Alleged. Okay, so it's nothing's proven. They're still figuring it out. He was charged with assault and aggravated harassment against a woman believed to be his girlfriend. He has also been accused of having a history of abusive behavior toward his partners, and Majors and his attorney have denied the allegations and claims. So that's what we're dealing with. Majors have been very quiet on the subject. He hasn't really been out there. He hasn't been talking or even showing any of his feelings toward it, except for today. Now, today, he did post an interview with Good Morning America and no, ABC News. I think he posted an interview with ABC News, and we're about to watch it now. Before we get into it, too, please do me a huge favor. Hit that like and subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so any type of comment, engagement will go a long way. So now, let's get into this video.
Less than a year ago, the name Jonathan Majors was followed by talk of critical and box office success, skyrocketing fame, even Oscar buzz.
I'm coming for everything.
But this morning, a different conversation surrounds that marquee name.
Something about sitting here right now and looking at you and understanding the gravity of the situation. A situation that I, in many ways, put myself in.
The actor spoke exclusively with ABC News for the first time after being convicted in late December for harassment and misdemeanor reckless assault in the third degree, which could carry a penalty of up to a year behind bars.
Why did you decide you wanted to talk now?
I felt like it was time. A lot has happened in my personal life, in my career, in the culture. It's about responsibility and coming forward and being brave.
A lot has happened. So he has been dropped from damn near everything. Like, I know the first time an incident happened that they dropped him from like most of the stuff that he was in. And I think Disney was the only one that kept him. And after this allegation, Disney even dropped him. So he's been in the mud and he's been basically he lost everything that he worked for and that he, made himself.
And giving my part of the story.
Your reaction to that verdict?
Shock. I was absolutely shocked, and afraid. And I'm standing there, and the verdict comes down. I say, how is that possible? Based off the evidence, based off the prosecution's evidence, let alone our evidence. How is that possible?
But after only hours of deliberation, a jury of his peers agreed with prosecutors that he did physically injure his then girlfriend, Grace Jabari, in an incident last March.
What happened exactly? Do you know?
No, I don't know. But she's unconscious.
That 911 call from Majors came hours after an argument broke out with Jabari in the back seat of an SUV, when Majors received a text from another woman saying, "Oh, how I wish to be kissing you." Jabari testified that when she grabbed the phone, Majors tried to get it back, fracturing her finger and giving her testified that when she grabbed the phone, Majors tried to get it back, fracturing her finger and giving her a cut behind her ear.
She says inside the car, you hit her in the face,
Yeah.
twist her arm behind her back, fracture her middle finger.
Yeah, that did not happen.
How did those injuries come about?
I wish to God I knew.
Dang. See, look, you gotta, yeah, the person that prepped you before this interview, you can't have that long of a silence and then proceed to say you do not know. Now it is evident that something happened to the lady. I don't know. Um, he's talking about he doesn't know. The lady's talking about she knows. But I guess only God knows, you know what I mean? Because it's there, the evidence is there. And this is the hard situation. And this is for my women out there, I feel y'all pain in terms of, you know what I mean, abuse situations. For my guys out there, I feel y'all pain. Everything is basically like when it comes down to it, in a sticky situation, you leave it up to the judge and you leave it up to people listening to the story to determine your fate. And this is why it is important to not put yourself in these situations and to pick the right partner. But we're going to get into that more, you know what I mean, later in the video.
You know? That would give clarity. That would give me some type of peace about it.
But you're confident you didn't
I have
cause
no
them.
question.
Surveillance video shows Majors getting out of the car, followed by Jabari, whom he then puts back inside the vehicle. What happens next is what the defense remains focused on. Majors runs off, and Jabari chases after him.
If you watch those videos,
What is going on? Why is she chasing him? I know why he's running, because he knows he messed up and he knows that this can go left. But why is she chasing him? This is what's wrong with females. Like, what are you going to do when you catch up to him? You can see he doesn't want to be in the situation. He's running from the situation. Some of these women out here are kind of crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you.
and you reverse that, and you saw a black man chasing a young white girl down the street, screaming and crying, that man is going to be shot and killed in the streets of New York City.
Majors' defense team.
All right, so he wanted to bring the black issue into this subject, which he has a point. Nobody can't lie about that. At the end of the day, if a black person was chasing down a white woman in the middle of the street when she's crying and yelling, something's going to end up bad for that black person if he was to run across the cops or run across anybody from that matter. I think a lot of people would jump in and try to stop the situation. So I would give him that. But also, you know what I mean? Let's not take accountability away from you, my brother. Let's not. Because, you know what I mean? Everybody want to cry wolf in black struggle. You know what I mean? When they start to get in trouble. But this is some evidence he's trying to show of him being hurt in a situation.
Team shared these photos, which he says show the injuries he received that night, which were deemed inadmissible in court.
How were you injured?
My injuries were, I had a scratch on my hand, from clawing for the phone, and I had a gash on at the time I had a beard. Under my beard, I had essentially a fingernail scratch on my cheek from pressure, and that bled overnight.
But prosecutors say Majors was the aggressor. District Attorney Alvin Bragg says the evidence presented throughout this trial illustrated a cycle of psychological and emotional abuse. In court, prosecutors pointed to a previous argument during which he knocked a candle to the floor.
I completely lost my temper in that moment and threw it all on the ground. That's not something I would want my child to do. And I did that. I absolutely did that. And felt terrible about it.
The prosecution also played audio Jabari had recorded earlier in the relationship where Majors encouraged her to act more like Coretta Scott King and Michelle Obama.
I'm a great man, a great man. I am doing great things, not just for me, but for my culture and for the world. That is actually the position I'm in. The woman that supports me needs to be a great woman.
There are some who question, especially in the Black community, as you're probably well aware, that people were saying, well, why was he telling this woman to be like Coretta Scott King and Michelle Obama?
It was me trying to give an analogy of what it is I'm aspiring to be. These great men, Martin, President Obama, and trying to give a reference point to that.
I think this is the time that Dr. Umar would jump in. Because you're telling a white woman to be Coretta Scott King and Michelle Obama. Like I ain't about to sit here and act like I don't understand what he's saying, because I understand what he's saying. I don't think he needed to bring those type references up, because I mean he's a great actor and he's in some big roles, but you ain't going down in history as a legend in that sense. But anyways, I understand what he's saying in terms of he needs a great woman next to him. And the fact is you can't make a woman great. She has to almost be at that great level, or she has to be there already. Like a woman that's chasing after you down the street, a woman that you're quote unquote putting your hands on, and you can even see him putting her into the vehicle. Um, a woman that you even have to tell that she has to be great isn't a great woman, and isn't a woman you should be with at the end of the day. So you got to choose better. And you can't be finding yourself in this situation. And it's sad to say, but it's true. Like Jonathan Majors, you are with a white woman. So in situations like this where it's 50-50, it's going to look bad on you. That's just the world we live in. Like we can't sit here and act like you're not going to be more targeted to be you're not going to be more targeted, and she's not going to be more seen as the victim in situations like that, because she is a white woman, which at the end of the day, women in general are looked at as the softer, are looked at as people that we should be protecting. And she's white, in which, I mean, most of America is white, so they're going to side with white. And then she's a woman on top of that, gives you extra bonus points. And you, my friend, are black and a strong black man, which makes it even more like a situation where people are going to think you were the aggressor. Like, I'm not sitting here saying that any of it's right. I'm not saying that he did do anything. I'm not saying that he should be punished. I'm not saying none of that. I'm just telling you what it looks like on the outside looking in. At the end of the day, people love saying don't judge or none of that, but we judge. That's what we do. That's how humans are. If I'm walking down the street in a suit, people are going to think I'm strong. I'm a businessman. I'm pretty successful. Compared to if I walk down that same street in a sweatsuit, they're going to think less of me than if I wore a suit. And I understand that. And the sooner you start to understand those type things, the better you could be in society, because at the end of the day, you have to put yourself in a position to win. You got to put yourself in a position to win. Even if you like it or you don't like it. So Jonathan Majors did not put himself in a position to win. He actually put himself in a position to lose it all, which he actually did. And he lost it all. We don't hear Jonathan Majors no more. And now we're just hearing about him. And let's see, man. This is the first part of the interview too. I think there's another part to the interview, but listen, we're just gonna react to the first part. Please, if you like the video, hit that like and subscribe button, and please help me get to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you for watching, and enjoy y'all day. I'm out.